Big hour.
That's right.
It's going to be big.
It's big. It's this big, although we're taking this much and we're jamming it into that.
I'll tell you how big it is.
65 minutes are going into the 60-minute next hour. That's right.
Let me tell you how big it is. It is spray-on Viagra big.
Oh, that's right.
It is that big.
Viagra doesn't make it bigger.
It is longer and stronger. So join us right after we break from the news, right after Brian's done, and we will talk about whether or not there is a need for the U.S. Marines here. I mean, there was in 1804 when we were attacked by pirates. How about in 2009?
What do you think, Fred? What's your opinion on
that? Yeah, I absolutely think that this is tailor-made for a U.S. naval response. And if I were the Obama administration, I would say, let's get in there and do this now. I mean, if you want a quick victory, if you want your political advisors to say, Mr. President, we want to drive up the numbers on your national security cred, this is what you do. This is a hell of a lot easier than going into Waziristan to find the Taliban.
Because I have a radio show to do when Fred's sitting here pontificating, I don't know what he said, but believe about maybe half of it today. What do you think, Naaman? Is that too much?
Yeah. 15%. Let me just respond to that blowhole. I hope I'm not out of line with that blowhole comment.
Mr. Blowhole.
Mr. Blowhole.
Right.
Is that pontificating is what I do on the Grand and Andy Morning Show.
Thank you, Congressman.
That's right.
6:30. The choice could not be more clear. WMAL.
In 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire
Randy and Andy.
It's big.
That's right.
It's big.
That's right.
I personally believe
it's big.
A lot of brain power.
It's big.
Oh, God love you. What am I talking about?
It is big. It's the big hour of the Grandy and Andy Morning Show. WMAL News Time 9:08. It's Andy Parks, Fred Grandy, and of course, Bronson Newberg.
That's right. We're locked. We're loaded, and we're continuing on the subject of piracy. Our question this hour of the big hour of the Grandy and Andy Morning Show: is this a job for the Merchant Marines or the U.S. Marines?
888-630-WMAL, pound 630 on your AT&T cell phone. That call's a free one. But before we get to your phone calls...
No. We're going to get to U.S. Marines.
Yeah, we're going to get to Lieutenant Colonel Bill Cowan. Welcome, Bill.
Hey, guys. Great to be with you.
Well,
Thanks so much for
you.
After the hundreds of millions of dollars we've spent over the last few decades to get our Special Operations Forces ready for incidents just like this, you can be sure without a doubt that primarily the U.S. Navy in waterborne incidents like this one are ready, are planning, have forces deployed somewhere or en route somewhere.
Good morning, gentlemen. You know, I just want to respond to your caller, the last caller.
What should happen and what's going to happen are probably two different things.
These guys are not that crazy to do something stupid.
I think it's open season on the United States.
These guys are thugs. They're terrorists. Why wouldn't you turn over the reins to the U.S. military and tell Maersk, you know what, this is our issue now. This is no longer yours. Out of time for this segment, and we appreciate all the phone calls. If you have a comment, we can always take it on the Grandy and Andy comment line, 202-895-2400. You can email us, grandyandandy at 630wmal.com, and you can follow us on Twitter. 951 at WMAL.
You know what's great and fascinating is when, and particularly the last guy that called in, Terry from Greenbelt, is the guys that feel obliged to defend the president by attacking George Bush.
Yep.
I mean, how lame is that excuse?
Well, what he's saying
George Bush didn't do anything. He sat there for 8
What
days.
he's saying is that when 9/11 happened, George Bush disappeared on an airplane. We didn't hear from him for several hours. And there were people, remember Peter Jennings was wondering where the president was.
Well, don't you remember Peter Jennings? Where